My name is Ethereum. I am taking on Bitcoin with the help of my friends. Everything was going according to plan.
But then, disaster struck.
The flash.
Crash.
To get an accurate understanding of what the Ethereum flash crash is and how it could happen, it is important to first understand what a cryptocurrency is and the technology supporting it. What is a cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency is a digital asset designed as a medium of exchange, basically digital money. Cryptocurrencies can be used fully anonymously because they are represented by a type of code. The most prominent ones are Bitcoin and Ethereum. What makes it different from a normal currency is that it is decentralized. While normal currencies are issued by states and backed by respective financial institutions, cryptocurrencies act independent of any facilitating institutions, thereby making financial institutions obsolete. Traditionally, a state or bank is responsible for the issue and flow of a currency. Cryptocurrencies have a finite number of units which cannot be replicated and can only be mined or attained through transactions. The term crypto refers to a practice of secure communication. Encryption controls secure transactions, the creation of additional units, and the verification of asset transfers. Most cryptocurrencies are based on a blockchain. But what is a blockchain actually? Let's imagine a scenario between John and Emily. John is in search of a space rocket. After a little search online, he gets into contact with Emily. Both now hold two different kinds of assets. John is in possession of money, while Emily owns a space rocket. John has his money stored in a bank. After agreeing on the exchange of the space rocket for money, John informs his bank to make a transaction to Emily's bank account. The bank verifies that John has enough money on his account and then transfers the money over to Emily's account. Only after Emily has verified the transfer to her account, she transfers the ownership rights of her space rocket to John. In a blockchain, both assets can be set online as an encrypted code in a block. Thereby, the assets or ownership rights can be transferred within seconds. The code marking the transaction is copied on all computers within the system. In this way, hundreds of computers can verify that the transaction took place. However, only Emily now holds the right for the currency she received. The copied code also contains an identification of the currency units Emily received. If someone was to create new currency units, the system would alert if these unidentified units were used as a transaction. This is what makes cryptocurrency transactions highly secure.
What is Ethereum? Ethereum is a system based on the blockchain technology. The participants exchange data without using a central server. Everyone who wants to participate needs their Ethereum client, which synchronizes with the network before usage. This means it downloads every documented transaction since the last synchronization. Every transaction inside the blockchain is saved on all devices connected to the network. This decentralized concept makes it almost impossible to manipulate data. This way, the blockchain can verify the integrity of the entire data. So, let's get a little more into detail of the different components of the system. Ethereum can be seen as a platform for so-called distributed apps, shortly dApps. dApps are somewhat like websites, whereas a website is connected to a central server or a database via API. dApps are connected to the blockchain via a so-called smart contract. A smart contract is a program that automatically starts as soon as the transaction took place. Smart contracts are the key feature that makes Ethereum differ from other blockchains, because smart contracts do not only track transactions, they program them. For example, if you have a contract with someone over an asset, the money would be automatically transferred as soon as you get your asset. This means that no manual or personal control of the transaction is necessary. With a market capitalization of 29 billion, Ethereum is the second biggest cryptocurrency network, but it could be much more than just a cryptocurrency network. In the future, Ethereum may be used not only for online currencies, but for daily tasks, such as transferring money to your bank, send documents to your insurance company, or online shopping. Nowadays, these processes cost a lot of time and need several verification and authentication steps. Ethereum would shorten these and make them even safer because the process is not based, for example, on passwords, but the information itself is incorruptible in the first place. So what is Ether? Ether is a cryptocurrency, as explained before, listed under the code ETH and traded on cryptocurrency exchanges. ETH is now 3 years old and up roughly 4,000% year to date, state June 2017. But it differs from other cryptocurrencies. Comparing it to Bitcoin, the most popular online currency, which is explicitly a digital form of money and a payment system, Ether is a means of buying services within Ethereum. So what does that mean? Ether is a form of payment made by the clients of the platform to the machines executing the requested operations. Crypto financial researchers say it's the fuel for operating the distributed application platform as somewhat a virtual machine. At the moment, 96 million Ether are on the market. The Ethereum network allows other online currencies as well. These are called token. Ether, such as other online currencies, are highly volatile. So even if transactions are really safe due to Ethereum, the investments themselves are very risky.
Hi guys, it's Hugo from Money Markets here, and today we're joined with a very special guest, Mr. Kaibo, who's actually a cryptocurrency expert, and we'll be delving into the complexities of what happened to the Ethereum stock yesterday. So, Mr. Kaibo, could you just give us a brief description of who you are and what is it you do?
So what I do is I'm a cryptocurrency analyst at cryptocompare.com, which is a huge site where you can find all information regarding cryptocurrencies. So if you need any help on that aspect, definitely look it up.
Okay.
Basically do on a daily basis is I just take a look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies, see which trends are developing, see like how they interact with each other, what are correlations.
And could you, sorry to interrupt you,
Go ahead.
but could you just give me a very quick overview of, top 3, 4 cryptocurrencies currently trading?
So at the moment the top, I'll go with the top 3.
Go ahead.
The top 3 cryptocurrencies trading at this moment would be Bitcoin at number 1, Ethereum at number 2, and then technically speaking Bitcoin Cash at number 3.
Right. And what are you basing that on?
So we're basing that on total market cap value. So that's the value of the market as a whole.
Right. And do you invest personally into cryptocurrencies?
So personally I do, mainly in Ethereum, so that's why this topic of today is even more interesting for me.
Okay, well let's delve into what happened yesterday.
Yes.
So 21st of June we had the biggest cryptocurrency flash crash on the history of Earth.
Yeah.
Just tell me what happened, briefly.
So, well, in short, we'll dive into more detail later.
Yeah.
But in short, what happened, we saw that Ethereum was trading around $317 quite steadily. And then a multi-million-dollar sale came in, which caused the price, or which set into motion a series of unfortunate events, which we will go into more detail about. But basically what happened, the price dropped from $317 to as little as 10 cents.
Wow. So a lot of people would have lost some serious money on this day.
And those who were particularly affected were those either trading on margin or those having stop loss orders in place.
Okay, let's delve into it. How on earth did this happen?
So, okay, it all started with this multi-million-dollar sale. So,
Do you know who made the sale?
no, no one does. That's like one of the beauties of cryptocurrency. It's really hard to trace who actually did what. But so what we can see is we've broken the chart down into two main parts. So we have the price here starting at 370, then a multi-million-dollar sale comes in and dropping the price a whopping 29.4% almost instantaneously to around $220. This caused 800 stop loss orders to go into effect.
Whoa, slow down. Just for our regular viewers, would you
Yes.
mind just explaining exactly what is a stop loss order?
Yes.
Even I don't know.
So for those of you who are not aware of what a stop loss order is, a stop loss order is an order which sells your asset once the price of that asset goes beyond a certain threshold. So let's say you have a stop loss order at 250.
Right.
If the price is to drop below $250, then the stop loss order will immediately execute itself
Right.
and sell your asset.
So just to clarify, if I had a stop loss order at 220 and the price went below 220, I would be guaranteed my stocks to be sold at 220 assets. Sorry.
No.
No. Wow. Okay. Elaborate.
So what sometimes happens is the price drops too quickly, and if the price drops too quickly, then the order is not being able to be processed in time. So then
Right.
the price could actually already be at $50 or even less.
So
in this case.
interrupt me if you're wrong, but what you're telling me is that someone could have had a stop loss order at 220 yesterday, but they actually, without even knowing, would have sold it at up to 10 cents.
Yes, that's exactly what happened in a lot of cases. So we saw a lot of people who lost 90 to 99% of their investment in Ethereum, which is...
Okay. So I understand, okay, so these stop losses further made the price drop, but was there any other reasons?
Yes, so as I previously very shortly mentioned, there's also some people who are trading on margin. So what they do is they take on debt from the bank and basically use that to invest in, well, in this case, Ethereum. But if you make too much of a loss on margin trading, then that order will also be immediately liquidated,
Right.
which means be sold to avoid any further losses.
We've actually just had someone tweet in, so can I read his tweet out?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Always good to interact with live.
Yeah, I'll warn you now though, he's not a happy customer.
Ooh.
So, he says, which user did it? Nobody makes a multi-million market sale order unless they have an intention to manipulate the market. What do you make of this? Do you think there's any weight to that claim?
I think there most certainly is, especially because I've been going through some of the data myself yesterday with my team, and what we found is that there was actually one user, we cannot know who it is because all addresses are anonymous,
Right.
but we saw that one user actually bought around, I think it was 3,000 Ethereum for 10 cents each,
Wow.
and then moments later the price went back up to 300, so he made a nice profit of almost $1 million. So
Right.
there's a very huge possibility that someone was trying to manipulate the market.
Okay, so what's the lesson here? Is there anything that would stop this happening again?
So the lesson here, I would say there's a few.
Okay.
We got some for the exchanges. So what we see in stock exchanges when the market would shift too rapidly or the price of an asset would change too quickly within a given amount of time, then the exchange would freeze that asset for a certain duration so that the market can adjust and no crashes like this would ever be able to happen on a stock exchange for that reason. So the exchanges could learn from this scenario and maybe implement a freeze out as well, so that something like this wouldn't happen. For the customers, I would say it might be smart to consider putting in stop loss orders at all. I personally believe it's better to give yourself a mental stop loss order, and whenever you see price drop beyond a certain level, you can sell it yourself.
How do you think this crash, it's been all over the media, all over the news, how do you think this is going to affect people's perceptions and their views on cryptocurrencies, which aren't too high already? Is this going to knock the confidence of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology completely?
So in the beginning, I definitely thought that it would hurt the cryptocurrency community, especially because it's still in its infancy, I would say, or it's,
Right.
I mean, Bitcoin is maturing a bit, but Ethereum is still very young, so I thought this could have been the end of Ethereum, but looking at it now, we've seen Ethereum getting back up there. It's actually performing a lot better now than it used to be.
I'm going to interrupt you. I have one final question.
Oh, yes.
This is all well and good, but do you honestly think this is the most engaging way we can present the flash crash?
Actually, I think you're right. I think we can do better.
I have an idea.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I am.
MCH Dog with my main man.
Mr. Kaibo!
Yo, Ethel's doing well, looking swell. It reached a new height, future looking bright. After 318 in green, profits,
Mean.
investors,
Keen.
not another.
Scheme.
Dollars in them eyes, crypto's on the rise.
Yeah. But I gotta say, it was a rough day. Multi-mil still crossing even to the rail. Slipped through the percent, but that wasn't the end. Stop losses getting propped, confidence knocked. Margin liquidations finished the foundations. It was the worst. What? Crypto,
Crash,
Ether,
trash,
quick as a
flash.
price now at a dime. Here comes another run.
Now let's take this apart and look at this chart. You see this drop here? It's a market flop. But Ether, she's so sweet, back on her feet. Within the hour, she back in power. But still, let's be real, we have this hype.
About blockchain.
Is there much to gain?
Or should one just abstain?